Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a calm and comfortable moment today. Take a slow breath and allow your mind to relax gently. Have you ever felt like you can speak English but it does not feel smooth? Like your sentences are correct, but something feels slow or unnatural? You know words. You know expressions. You understand simple conversations, but when you speak, something feels different. You pause often. You search for words. You stop in the middle of a sentence. And sometimes, you lose your flow. And in that moment, you may feel something frustrating. Why is this not natural yet? Why does speaking still feel difficult? Many learners experience this stage. They are not beginners. They can speak, but they cannot speak smoothly. And this creates a new kind of frustration. Because now, the problem is not understanding. The problem is flow. Some people believe the answer is simple. They think they need more vocabulary. They think they need better grammar. So they continue studying. They learn more words. They study more rules. But their speaking does not change much. Because smooth speaking is not only about knowledge. It is about how your brain processes language in real time. When you speak smoothly, you are not thinking about each word. You are not building each sentence slowly. You are using patterns. You are following familiar structures. And this creates flow. Another important idea is processing speed. When you understand something, you have time. You can think. You can analyze. But when you speak, time is limited. You need to respond quickly. And this requires automatic processing. Another key point is hesitation. Hesitation happens when your brain is searching for words, searching for structure, and this breaks your flow. Another important idea is familiarity. When something is familiar, your brain uses it quickly. When something is unfamiliar, your brain slows down. So smooth speaking comes from familiarity, not just knowledge. Let me share a simple example. Two learners have similar knowledge. They know similar words. They understand similar content. But their speaking is different. The first person tries to build every sentence. They think carefully. They try to be correct. They pause often. Their speaking is slow. The second person uses simple patterns. They repeat familiar structures. They do not try to be perfect. They continue speaking. Their speaking is smoother. Why? Because they use what is familiar, not everything they know. This is a very important difference. Another key point is simplicity. Many learners try to say complex ideas. They want to sound natural. They want to sound advanced. But this creates pressure. And pressure slows down speaking. But when you use simple language, your brain works faster, and speed creates smoothness. Another important idea is connection. Smooth speaking is not about perfect sentences. It is about continuous expression. Even if your sentences are simple, if they connect naturally, your speaking feels smooth. Another key point is rhythm. Language has rhythm. When you repeat patterns, you begin to feel this rhythm, and rhythm helps your speaking flow. At this point, you may begin to see something clearly. Smooth speaking is not about knowing more. It is about using what you know in a faster and more natural way. But there is still something important we need to understand. How can we build this smooth flow step by step? How can we train our brain to speak more naturally? And this is where the story begins to go deeper. From speaking slowly to speaking smoothly. Now that we understand that smooth speaking comes from familiarity and processing speed, we can begin to explore how to build that flow step by step. The goal is not to speak perfectly. The goal is to keep your speaking moving. The first step is to reduce your sentence complexity. Many learners try to say everything they are thinking. They try to express full ideas, but this creates pressure, and pressure slows your thinking. So simplify your sentences. Break your ideas into smaller parts. Say one thing at a time. I went to a cafe. It was quiet. I liked it. These short sentences connect naturally, and they create flow. The second step is to use familiar patterns repeatedly. Do not try to use new structures all the time. Use what you already know. Repeat it. Make it automatic. When something is automatic, you do not need to think. And when you do not think too much, you speak more smoothly. The third step is to practice linking sentences. Smooth speaking is not about single sentences. It is about connection. Use simple connectors. And, so, then. These small words help your ideas flow. They reduce pauses. They keep your speaking continuous. The fourth step is to speak before you feel ready. If you wait for perfect sentences, you will hesitate. But if you begin speaking early, your brain adapts. It learns to respond faster. This builds real speaking ability. Let me share a simple example. One learner waits before speaking. They think carefully. They try to build a perfect sentence, but this takes time. They pause often. Their flow breaks. Another learner begins speaking immediately. They use simple words. They continue speaking, even if it is not perfect. After some time, their speaking becomes smoother because they train their brain to continue, not to stop. The fifth step is to accept imperfect flow. Smooth speaking does not mean perfect speaking. You will still make mistakes. You will still repeat words. But your speaking continues, and continuation is more important than perfection. The sixth step is to train your response speed. Use simple questions. Answer them quickly. Do not think too long. This trains your brain to react faster, and faster reaction creates smoother speaking. The seventh step is to use shadowing for rhythm. Listen to natural speech. Repeat it immediately. Follow the speed. Follow the tone. This builds rhythm, and rhythm supports flow. The eighth step is to practice daily short speaking. Do not wait for long conversations. Speak every day, even for a short time. Describe your thoughts. Describe your actions. These small moments build fluency. Another important idea is reducing fear of pauses. If you fear pauses, you will stop completely. But pauses are normal. Use short pauses, then continue. This keeps your speaking natural. Another key point is mental flexibility. If you cannot say something, change your sentence. Use simpler words. Express your idea differently. This keeps your flow alive. Another important idea is repetition of speaking situations. Talk about similar topics. Repeat similar stories. This builds familiarity, and familiarity increases speed. At this point, you may begin to notice something different. You speak more continuously. You hesitate less, and your sentences connect more naturally. But there is still one important part left. How do we make this smooth speaking stable? How do we keep this flow in real conversations? And this is where the story moves forward, from practicing flow to speaking naturally. So now we come to the final part of this story. How can you keep your speaking smooth in real situations? Because practicing alone is one step, but using it in real conversation is another. Many learners can speak smoothly alone. They practice, they repeat, they feel comfortable. But when they face a real person, something changes. They feel nervous, they feel pressure, and their speaking becomes slow again. So the real goal is not only to practice flow, the real goal is to keep that flow, even in real interaction. The first step is to accept imperfection in conversation. Real conversations are not perfect. Even native speakers hesitate. They repeat words. They pause. This is natural. So do not expect perfect flow. Expect continuous flow. The second step is to focus on communication, not form. When you focus on grammar, your mind becomes slow. When you focus on meaning, your speaking becomes faster. Say what you can. Express your idea. Keep moving forward. The third step is to maintain simple expression. Do not try to impress. Do not try to sound advanced. Use simple words. Use familiar structures. This keeps your speaking smooth. The fourth step is to respond quickly, then adjust. Do not wait for a perfect sentence. Say something, then improve it if needed. This keeps your flow alive. Let me share a simple example. Two learners are in a conversation. The first person listens carefully. They try to build a perfect answer. They wait. They think. They hesitate. Their speaking becomes slow. The conversation loses rhythm. The second person responds quickly. They use simple sentences. They continue speaking. They adjust their words if needed. Their speaking feels natural. The conversation continues smoothly because they focus on flow, not perfection. The fifth step is to manage your emotions. Nervousness slows your thinking. It creates hesitation. So take a breath. Stay calm. Allow yourself to speak imperfectly. This reduces pressure. And when pressure is low, your flow returns. The sixth step is to use familiar topics. In real conversations, choose topics things you have talked about before. This increases your speed and reduces hesitation. The seventh step is to build conversational rhythm. Conversation is not only speaking, it is listening, it is reacting, it is continuing. So respond simply. Ask simple questions. Keep the exchange moving. This creates natural flow. The eighth step is to practice real scenarios. Imagine conversations. Repeat common situations. Order food. Introduce yourself. Talk about your day. These repeated situations build automatic responses. Another important idea is recovery. If you stop, restart. If you forget a word, change your sentence. Do not stay stuck. Move forward. This keeps your speaking alive. Another key point is confidence and simplicity. Simple English is powerful. Clear ideas are more important than complex sentences. Trust simple expression. Another important idea is consistency. Smooth speaking is not built in one moment. It grows through daily practice, through repetition, through real use. Over time, something begins to change. You no longer think about each word. You no longer pause as often. Your sentences connect naturally, and your speaking begins to flow. And in that moment, you realize something important. You did not need perfect English. You needed continuous English. And this is the result of everything you have done. Not more knowledge, but better use of what you already know. So if you remember one thing from this story, remember this. Do not stop your flow. Keep speaking. Keep connecting your ideas and trust that your fluency will grow. Thank you for spending this time with the story. And as always, see you in the next story.